Welcome back. Now let's get to our next expert of the day. He's the founder of Workstream. They work with hundreds of businesses and help them with automating the hiring and onboarding process. So joining us is founder Desmond Lim. How are you, Desmond?
I'm well. And you?
I'm doing well, too. Thank you. I mean, we have jobs, and we're thankful for that, because all we're hearing about right now is people losing their jobs, especially the hourly workers. So you have the big picture, right? So tell us, how does the job board look right now? Is it way down, and which industries are way down more than other industries?
Yeah, that is great. That is great for you to ask. So we surely see a mix. So there's surely many companies that are not hiring. As you all know, restaurants, hotels, cafes, they're all closed. So for those job postings, they are way down. But there are still some that are, trying to hire.
Which
and
ones?
For those that are still trying to hire, they are like trying to hire more. So some of them are like this, actually senior living homes, supermarkets, companies that are trying to hire drivers. So in those sectors, we see a trend that is actually going upwards. So for example, I would say that in terms of job posting for drivers, we see a trend of almost 3x growth. And in terms of job posting for these nurses, we see a trend of almost like 2x.
And are those wages actually going up in those industries in which you say they're really ramping up right now?
Yeah, in terms of wages, it has actually stayed flat based on what we see, right? But I think there's just much more job openings for some of those roles, even though I think overall pay has stayed flat. In certain roles, like in this nurses, where there's maybe high risk being at this front line, for those we have seen the wage go up slightly.
Okay, so if certain industries are contracting and others are expanding, so to speak, if you're a job seeker and you're thinking, God, I need to make some money right now, are there certain regions in the state that you would send people to where those regions are actually doing more hiring?
Yeah, I would say so. I think mostly in this actually coastal regions, those been actually generally down. Just think about New York and in the Bay Area. But I would say in this Midwest, those are still actually holding strong. Actually, I would say that in terms of trends we see in this Midwest and in the South, maybe about only half of these restaurants, hotels are closed. So maybe about half they are, still open. So we surely see, like, if you are in those areas, you should surely be trying for jobs. I would say, that being said, we do see a trend of whereby for those jobs that are still open, we see more people trying for those jobs. For example, we have a client, it's a gas station chain. They have about 50 roles open. In the past 3 days, we have seen about 7,000 people try for those roles. That is almost like a 5x jump.
So I want to ask you, eventually we will come out of this, and in a post-COVID-19 world, do you see any changes in the way people look for jobs or interview applicants?
Yeah, I think so. I do see a few trends on that front. So we have had several clients come to us saying, you want to talk about this actually contactless screening, trying to meet with people via this video, via texting. So that is part of our core software that we have been able to do it. We help our clients to be able to screen people and source them and to actually talk to them either via Zoom, via video, or even via texting on the phone. So we should see a trend to move towards that. People want to first meet you when you're home, and they want to be able to see your face and talk to you prior to bringing you to where they are at. So yes.
Got it. So based on all these changes that are already starting to happen and will accelerate even in a post-COVID-19 world, and based on what you see in terms of, what the jobs will be, what can a job seeker do right now to kind of put themselves in the best position to get one of those jobs once companies really start to hire again?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think in terms of how they should prep, I think this is a great time to actually go back to school, right? We have all these classes, they're all now online. So that's surely something that we've been trying to tell our current hourly folks to, hey, take this break, take this time. If you really can't find work, stay home. Actually try to take some online courses that can be very helpful. So I think that is some trend that we see. Second trend that we see is trying to tell people, hey, try to be open for job changes, right? We see a trend whereby more people are going to work from home, right? So restaurant, cafes, hotels, they are going to pivot to actually cater towards that need. So we are trying to tell people, hey, be open to job changes, be open to job like training. All those will be very helpful for you.
All right, Desmond Lim, we are out of time. Although I'm going to spend 5 seconds and just ask you, how long do you think before the economy is back? 5 seconds.
I think it'll be back in about 3 to 6 months from what I see.
Okay.
I hope it'll be sooner, but
All
yeah.
right, well, we'll check back with you then. Desmond Lim, founder of Workstream, thank you so much for your time and insight today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, hey, Desmond, we have time for one more question.
Great.
Do you have any data on employees calling in sick? Is that, are we seeing that in huge numbers?
Yes, we do have that.
All right, tell us about that.
Right.
What are you seeing?
Yeah, sure. Perfect, great. So we definitely see about 35% of folks who are trying to call in sick. So we think that is like a very, very big jump. There's a few factors that is trying to drive that. Some of them are sick because they're tired, but many of them are trying to call sick because they have to stay home to actually take care of their kids, because kids are now out of school, so they are not able to leave their kids. We see a trend too whereby many folks, their parents, they are sick too. So many of these elderly folks, they don't have the choice but to call in sick so that they can stay back home. So I think that is a very clear trend that we see.
So then are any employers offering additional help to people, who are in those situations so that they don't need to resort to calling in sick?
I think some of them are. So we see a trend of about 20% of these folks, of these elderly folks, they are trying to ask for more loans. So that is what they are now doing, trying to ask for more loans. And many of these businesses, companies are trying to be helpful by giving the loans that they can, because many of these folks, they can't even pay rental. So.
All right. Tough times for a lot of folks, but you also offer some hope as far as how people can position themselves for the future. So Desmond Lim, thank you so much. Really great to see you. Now we're going to leave you for real. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.